and a very good afternoon. Welcome to Sports City, your home of sports analysis, both local and international. You are with me, Bill Clinton Odiambo, and it is indeed another good Saturday for you to join us in this broadcast as we take you through the ongoings of matters of sports. So you are joining in this 2 p.m. this Saturday, and I have a guest with me. His name is Brian Agina. Karibu sana. Wonderful. It's good to have you on the set today, talking matters football. Sindio? I can see you having a jersey Inter Miami. Is there any reason behind that?
Yes. The only reason I came in the Liga
Yes.
because I'm a huge Messi fan.
Okay.
Also have the twist.
That's the main reason.
All right. Are you excited to talk about football this afternoon?
Yes, very interested. Looking forward to it, Manze.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, our channels of communication are officially open. My sign language interpreter this afternoon is Tobias Omondi. You can reach us out at 0111 980 That is our SMS and WhatsApp number at Science TV Kenya across our social media platforms. And we are having quite a handful discussion this afternoon. We are looking at some of the actions that did take place as far as the Champions League is concerned. We had amazing action over the week, big results, big disappointments, but also the Deaflympics 2025 came to an end with another sterling performance courtesy of Team Kenya, racking up a total of 15 medals, 5 golds, 6 silver, and 4 bronze medals. That is a good performance from Team Kenya. I'm going to give you a little bit of details on how that went down, courtesy of good representatives as far as the Deaflympics is concerned. But then again, also we have the EPL that is back in action this weekend. Big teams, including the Super Sunday that we have Arsenal versus Chelsea. Be sure to send in your thoughts and opinions, your predictions as well. We are going to sample them at the end of the broadcast. But what about now? Let's get down to action and talk about some of the midweek football action that did take place, and in particular, the Champions League action. And Mr. Brian.
Yes.
Now, umesema wewe ni mtu wa Inter Miami.
Mi ni mtu wa Messi.
Wewe ni mtu wa Messi.
First.
Wewe ni mtu wa Messi. First things first.
Yes.
But in terms of club football,
yes.
Local and
yes.
perhaps international, which teams do you root for?
Yeah, I'm a Manchester United, GGMU, Manchester United fan, and then also Inter Miami. Yes, I'm also a supporter of the Kenyan team.
Kenyan teams,
Yes.
In particular, kuna moja unapenda ama?
Oh, Kenyan team, the national team, but locally, I have at times I try to look into Gor Mahia games.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Amazing. And unfortunately, Manchester United are called Champions League. But let's start with the teams that were in action, and in particular, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Arguably, two of the best Europe teams were in action. That is Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. And at the end of the day, it was Mikel Arteta's side, Arsenal, winning 3-1. Majority of the people, myself included, were not anticipating such kind of result. Perhaps let's start from there. Ulitarajia this to happen, Arsenal to win by a great margin in this sense?
Honestly, there was that possibility.
Yes.
There was that potential because they really started on a really good form. And also, if you look at the statistics in terms of the goal difference,
right,
I think Arsenal going into this game hadn't conceded any goal at all.
Yes.
And I know Bayern they also have their record in terms of they've been racking up a number of goals and all that. So this is a really good matchup on paper.
Right.
So when I was actually looking into the game, I thought it's a possibility Arsenal may have an upper hand.
Yes.
But Bayern will not really be able to rule them up because they really have a good form. So I expected maybe the goal, the goal to be around maybe a draw.
Yes.
But of course there'll be some goals.
Yes.
Maybe 2-2. And if it actually went further, I was hoping that Bayern would really win this one. I'm a Manchester United fan, but give it up to Arsenal. They're really playing a really wonderful football. Yeah. So I think the way it actually ended up, I was not really surprised. But I think really played a really nice game.
I mean, coming up to the game, they're leading as far as the Premier League is concerned, top of the table.
Yeah.
This win pushed them to the top of the table as well with that the 3-1 win. One can easily say, just like you mentioned, they were not conceding at home. Goals literally at home, whether they are home or away. What really went well as far as what is going well for Arteta so far, as far as getting positive results, back-to-back positive results is concerned?
I think it goes all the way back to like the past 3 seasons. I remember when Arteta actually took charge, they've been making some gradual improvements.
Yeah.
I think in one season they were really close to like winning for Premier League, and I think they've been learning through those past seasons.
Yeah.
We're talking about like things like getting in the right people to fit in particular roles in the midfield or even on the back, and also squad depth.
Yeah.
I think they really have that going well right now.
Yeah.
And also if you look in terms of the team spirit, you could actually feel that like everyone is playing in for the team.
Yeah.
So I think all those ingredients actually coming in together. And I think also going into this particular game, they've also been really good at set pieces. There's a corner you've seen like, a Saliba at the back,
Yes.
and also Gabriel also at the back. So like they have been building up on so many things, and I think all of it is actually coming together. I think one thing I really say that I also admire about Arsenal right now, they play with the mentality to win. And that means everyone is also playing their role.
Right.
So, and that is really looking really, really well. And they look like a team that actually win everything, a treble kind of coming up. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's in the little things, right?
Yes.
The set pieces, for example,
Yes.
that win your games. And the name of the game is to win. Otherwise, you always have to get the 3 points.
Right now, corner feels like a penalty kick. Eh?
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think they're really good.
I mean, Vincent Kompany said at the end of the game, his post-match analysis, he mentioned the fact that touching on the little things, vitu kama ball boy giving the ball haraka, it's some sort of a mentality that Arsenal has, the winning mentality that just like you mentioned.
Yes.
Like Arteta switched them up, and it's been gradually coming up. Of course, the previous seasons finishing in second, not once, not twice.
Yes.
You could see that one way or another they could be at the top.
Yes.
But then again, the big question that always lingers is that wataweza kushikilia kweli?
Yeah, that's the same question everyone actually has.
I mean, there's that talk of squad depth.
Yes.
Right now, Gabriel Magalhaes is injured, for example, but there's Masquera pale nyuma, there's Hinchape pale nyuma. I mean,
it doesn't seem like they're missing.
Exactly.
Yes.
But is this one season that tutasema hii watawaacha whether injuries or not, because clearly we've seen, yes, they have injured players, but they're still doing so well.
Yeah.
Is this one season that we are seeing them walking away with it, or is it too early to call it?
I feel like when looking at from the perspective of a player, I haven't really been. I'm not a professional player, but I have like a few friends who have been playing professional football. Yeah. When you get to a point where you are so close and then you lose it, when you go into the next season, there's kind of a learning and there's kind of a pain that kind of translates into some kind of an ambition. Yeah. So I feel like there are a number of people in this current squad that have been that close, and they've actually seen, they had a lot of hope and they really tried, but coming to the last few games of the last seasons, they really seen the title, they actually lost the title. Yeah. So I know possibly they don't really want to do that, and they're trying to make sure at least everything goes right. So I feel like I don't really think this time what I lose. Yeah. I feel like this time they'll go all the way, and I think they're taking one game at a time. Right. Yes. I also wanted to highlight something. In the Bayern game, I remember when the game ikianza, the Bayern had most of the possession, if you remember. Yes. But even the way Arsenal were just maintaining the position, it is kind of a discipline. Everyone was playing their role in ensuring that they're able to fall back, the 50-50 balls and all kinds. So even if Bayern had the ball, you could be able to see that they didn't have create a lot of chances, or they're not getting to the final third. Yeah. So in that way, I kind of felt like, these guys really know how to defend really nicely. Yeah. And when they had their chances and they went forward with Saka on the wide, the other side also on the wide, so they felt like there's something that can really come up. So I feel like they have all that, even in a game where they're not really having a lot of possession, they're still good. I mean, let's break it down a little bit onto that, because for Bayern's side especially, because just want to find out what did not work for Kompany. Because, for Bayern Munich, when you look at the Bundesliga side, they're doing really well. Yes. But personally, I did expect Arsenal to score, because for some reason, Bayern Munich have also been a bit loose at the back, right? Yes, yes. Goals going in, a few games I've seen in the Bundesliga ending 6-2, 4-2. They're getting the desired win, but at a cost. Yes. And that was guaranteed against a side like Arsenal. Yes. But
being arguably the two sides in coming into this game, the two best sides in Europe, what went wrong for company?
Yeah, I kind of feel like when I was looking at especially the teams actually had possession, and also remember during the game, especially in the first half, we could say like the game was a little bit tied.
Yeah.
Yes, but Bayern still had most of the possession. I'm trying to remember the stats on the number of chances created. I think they kind of almost at par.
Right.
But I think the main challenge they actually had on this particular game on the first half was trying to break through the midfield line and also in the defensive line. I think Arsenal were just rock solid and compact.
Right.
So and I remember that most of the position they actually had was going in from the back line, playing in between the keeper, the back line, and I think there was just a little bit turning around there. So maybe it was a tactics thing, but this quality, they actually have the quality.
Yeah.
You talk about people like Olise, Kimmich, the entire squad they actually have is really good.
Right.
But looking to second half, you remember there's a time Arsenal really looked threatening.
Exactly.
I think that's also the time they actually scored I think the second goal.
Yeah.
But they're really the Bayern's defense really looks really shaky. So I think maybe it's more about trying to balance into the back line actually Bayern really has, and also the midfield part of it. Because I know like they have a rotational kind of a game. You could find like Kane is falling all the way back, which is good. Yeah. But I also feel like maybe there's something going on the defense that maybe that really needs to be looked up, because that is actually making them concede more goals.
More goals, right? Yes.
They can score more goals, but they still have to score. They're conceding, but they still have to score more goals.
Yes.
Of course, that's not really what Kenya really wants.
Yeah, because the goal difference at the end of the day, it's affected.
Yes.
Unafunga bao 4, unafungwa 3, ama unafungwa 2.
Yes. But I really, when Arsenal scored the first goal, I wanted to really see how Bayern would respond. The team mentality. Do they look shaken? Because they really had few chances, and it was a really tight game in the first game.
Right.
So I think them being able to go forward and score a goal was still like they kind of shows the attacking strength they really have. Yeah. But I think on the defensive line, I know Neuer is really confident with the ball, but that third goal, costed them.
Kidogo hiyo.
Yeah.
That was an easy one for Martinelli to go past.
Yes. But I think that's I think majorly on how everyone is rotating on the ball, and especially on the back line. Maybe there's something kind of costing them around there.
Yeah. That is quite well put out. And 3-1 win against Bayern Munich, ladies and gentlemen, that's take them to the top of the table as far as the Champions League is concerned, and an automatic qualification to the knockout phase, because Arsenal is arguably the only team that wako pale juu. And it seems like the backline is very reinforced. No goals, they're not conceding so much goals. And that is both in the local league and the international scene.
Yes.
And I just want to talk about another England counterpart, who for them they have decided it's a routing goal. Funga venye unataka. Liverpool against PSV, Arne Slot's side fell 4-1 against PSV. It was a thorough thrashing, and 9 matches back to back, 9 losses in 12 games for Liverpool as we speak. Only 4 games that they have sort of actually it's only 3 games that they have sort of performed. Should we be worried as far as Ancelotti and Liverpool is concerned? This is just a phase of a new manager. He needs time to settle in, perhaps. He needs new players to try and fit in his style of play, for example. What's wrong with Liverpool at the moment?
I feel like there are a number of things going wrong. I've seen a few of their games, but the PSV one, I had a chance to look into that particular game. I know there's a whole transition thing, but if I was Ancelotti, I would try to figure out like how to really make sure that we're not conceding a lot of goals.
Yes.
I think in terms of attacking, there's some games that really look like they're not connecting, especially on the front. But I know they're able to add in a few players. Really, Pepa's really good, look good on paper. Isak, Djokovic. But I know Isak has also been on injury for a while. Florian Wirtz has also been I think he hasn't really gotten his mojo yet. He was shining in by Leverkusen. So I feel like maybe it's the dynamics of bringing in new players. But because I think about like transition part, I know whenever we have a new coach coming into a club as good as Liverpool, and already with the existing players already had, we expect them to be able to perform and continue to perform as the way they did in the previous seasons.
Right.
But I think there are those kind of dynamics that kind of just come out and kind of reveal itself, especially in these kind of games. Because last season, I think they finished, I can't remember which position actually finished, but I think they really did better.
Yeah.
So looking into this particular season, I feel like it's more the dynamics.
Yeah.
Kind of something's just catching up with them. They don't really look really solid on defense.
Yeah.
I know Salah's also been having kind of a low spell as of the moment. The key person, their midfielder, what is his name? Spurs, starts with an S. I know he's the main person. I will say kind of seems to be more consistent.
Szoboszlai.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, he's, for me, in the entire lineup, he looks like the person who's currently
back to back. He has actually scored in that game.
Yeah, he scored
the solo goal for Liverpool.
Yes. Yeah, so I just feel like maybe I also feel like it could just take a few matches to try and see, like, figure some things out. But I'm also thinking about, like, I think it's more of a dynamics of just going into another season and also having more players coming in. I know there's some players that kind of went out for the last season.
Right.
So I think that's kind of just catching up.
I mean, talking about dynamics, one would look at the dark cloud hovering around on top of Van Dijk's head, for example.
God, yes.
He's the club captain.
Yes.
He made a very, very...
the handball.
Yeah, I mean, one would argue that he's not a Van Dijk kind of...
I checked this several times, like...
Yes, that's a silly handball to have. You know really well with the captain, you are undergoing a really, really tough period, right? And then you make such a mistake that then proves very costly at the end of the day for the team. I mean, there have been talks about... Yes, Mo Salah's performance at the moment is quite down. The key players who have been there, Van Dijk, Mo Salah, at the moment, they're not really showing up as they've been previously doing.
Yes.
Then the question the pressure falls to the new players now.
Yes.
The likes of Florian Wirtz, who has not really gelled with the team. Tarak on injury, Bada Yuko Vizuri, not 100% fit. Isak is a money player, but then we're not seeing anything from him.
The pressure.
There's that pressure now being piled on you as a new player.
Yes.
I mean, if you're Ancelotti, right?
Yes.
What would you do to try and create that harmony? Because now we are going to see blame games here and there. We saw it before when Van Dijk was blaming Kakes in, for example, the Manchester United game. Blaming. There's a lot of blame game now happening, right?
Yes.
But Wile Kunenda, it's not easy because we're not having any other break. We have the next international games that away next year, March.
Yes.
So right now, either you perform really well back to back, or you'll get back to back losses. Yes. How can you now try to get that the dressing room to be equal?
I'm thinking like I know Van Dijk has shown like great leadership skills, not only in the Liverpool dressing room,
right,
but also on the international side with Netherlands. So I feel like maybe he can still provide that.
Yeah.
And as far as the previous seasons, he has also demonstrated leadership skills in the past seasons.
Yes.
So I think maybe there's just a disconnect because he's the kind of player that if something goes wrong, he's going to call out someone.
Yeah.
But, like the way we saw like in this other game in Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a little bit of a tussle in there.
Yes. Yes.
So, but that kind of ended up with one person getting a red card.
Yeah.
So I know with Van Dijk, that's not his style.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a person who's able to like ensure that the back.
Sorry.
Yeah. Ensure that the back line is able to move together.
Yeah.
So I know he had that incident with actually costed them a penalty. So that one was really unfortunate. But I think if there was something that could really be done is just try to, if they really need to check on their formations, kind of accommodating. I know Florian Wirtz has maybe been playing in the midfield. Yeah. I think the other players have just been playing the traditional position. Salah is just in the same position.
Yeah.
Their striker as well. I think he has been showing signs. Yes, he's been showing signs of like he's able to score.
Right.
And he's really a fast player as well. Gakpo is really good in my opinion. He's
one of the best at the moment.
Yes. And he's the one actually created the chance so that can enable them to score the first goal.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe they can just work on the balance or try to figure out if there are other players they need to be able to add in, especially on the back line. And I think maybe that could be what they actually need. I don't really think they need to buy more players, in my opinion. I just think they just need to find that balance on if it's a formation thing.
Right.
Yes. And most of the time, if it's a dressing room thing, I don't really think that's a big stuff.
It's a big issue.
Yes.
All right, as we wind up on the Champions League action, Chelsea, Barcelona, 3-0 win versus Barcelona. And there's a new kid on the block. William Estavao is causing a lot of problems as far as the defense department is concerned for rivals.
He's a teenager, right?
Yeah. Very, very young. Actually, we tuliza World Cup kama tatu hivi ama nne as far as William Estavao is concerned. A massive performance against Barcelona. One should say a statement performance from Chelsea. For the past few games, people have been saying Chelsea hawajapatana na timu kubwa yoyote. Timu kubwa ilipatana nayo only ilikuwa Manchester United that dealt them a major blow, a massive defeat. But then again, timu kubwa kapatana nayo ikakuwa ni Barcelona. Statement performance, 3-0 win against Barcelona. Did you see this coming perhaps? And how do you see Chelsea now moving on with this?
Yeah, I kind of felt like Chelsea were going to have an upper hand in this game. I feel like they've been, I think, kind of previous games. The way they're playing, they have this drive to kind of just move forward.
Right.
Yes, and also feel like they've been gaining their balance and their form of play and their playing style. It's kind of been coming in together. So I remember in this particular game, I think I saw the first, I think around 20 minutes. I think how many goals are ruled out?
2. But then this was a 5. It was a 5 goal.
Naangalia screen like it's a goal ruled out. I'm like, yo. So I think and that kept going until they actually got their first goal.
Yes.
And you could think like maybe Barcelona will try and change or try a little bit differently. Also coming to the second half, I think Chelsea were just a force to reckon with, and they had a lot of options. They looked hungry.
Yes.
I think there was not really anything I really say like in terms of attacking options and so on their defense. I think they just looked really good.
Yes.
Yamal was like he had been, he was quiet most of the game.
He was pocketed. Cucurella alimweka kwa mfuko.
And and Cucurella is really doing really well. So if you look at everyone was really playing really well.
Yes.
And Barcelona kind of looked there trying to figure out how to go past and score some goals. We didn't see the brilliance of Yamal. The midfield of Barcelona was kind of made quiet.
Yeah.
And a lot of runs I could see from the Chelsea side, especially from their wings, kind of reminding how they played the Club World Cup and won the game against PSG.
Yeah.
Like I felt like they really played really well. So I feel like they're going into the next games. The next game I think is against Arsenal, right?
Right, yes, on Sunday. Super Sunday.
Kesho.
Yes, you're talking about that, yes, in a few.
That is definitely a game to look up to because I feel like both of the teams are gaining their form and all stuff.
Remember, yes, the Champions League delivered on its part, but then again, not forgetting the challenges, the hinkles, the teams that are winning, the teams that are losing, as far as the Premier League is concerned. Quite interesting games to look out this afternoon. Manchester City are playing against Leeds, Everton against Newcastle, and we have the likes of Fulham also in action against Sunderland. Sunderland against Bournemouth later on. Brian, I would just like us to start with timu yenye nasumbua kwa sasa. Si Arsenal, najua inasumbua sana. Lakini as far as top scorers is concerned, Erling Haaland akona bao 14. And there seem to be, of course, after that particular disappointment last time out, is this a chance to them to dust themselves off? They're at home, of course, against a team that has been promoted this season. Of course, one would imagine they're coming in this particular game as the favorites, Manchester City that is.
Yes.
Do you see them the same? Unaona wakirudi back to their winning ways?
Yeah, I feel like yes, they're going to get back to their winning ways.
Right.
Ukombele, they have a force to be reckoned with. Erling Haaland breaking records. And imagine, I think he's still very young.
Yes.
So most players, we say like they reach their prime when they're 27. This guy is already at 20, I think 23, and he's already getting all these goals. So yes, they can totally rely on Erling Haaland.
Right.
I think also Pep has been, and every season Pep comes up with some kind of a new tactics.
Yes.
Not the same tactics as for the last season, because I also think like for the Premier League and other leagues, if you use the same style, people will just figure you out.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I think they have good team. They were able to bring in Mamouche and all kind of guys. Foden has really grown into a good central attacking midfielder. So I feel like going into this game, despite the fact that they actually lost from the last Champions League game against Bayer Leverkusen, I think they really try hard to press on this particular game and get a win. I don't think there's anything they'll be trying to do unless they have to win.
Exactly.
So I think this game, they are strong on paper. I think likely they're going to be winning. I think they will win this game.
Right. You've mentioned the fact that they lost against Bayer Leverkusen, and Pep came out and rightly so, and admitted that he made 10 changes to that particular game.
Yes.
And yes, he admitted that he's sort of underestimated by Leverkusen.
Okay.
Yeah, because 10 changes, he accepted the fault because they were looking so good. The team that they have, you don't have to make a lot of changes for you to get back-to-back results.
Yeah.
I mean, with this particular Leeds game, then a lot of qualities you mentioned, Ryan Chaki, Mamouche over there. They have a massive talent as in the place of Reinders, for example, in the midfield sector.
Yes.
When you look at the table right now, it is roughly 7 points between them and Arsenal, with Chelsea coming in between. Pep Guardiola will be looking at this and will be frustrated as far as dropping points is concerned. How then can they catch up moving on forward? Because I'm looking at their next match, their matches as far as it is concerned. Yes, they're having Leeds today, but after Leeds, they are going to play, that is Fulham and Sunderland, right?
Yeah.
These are equally two tough teams in Sunderland in particular, and Fulham as well. Two teams that really they know to defend.
Yes.
And we're speaking in the sense that they have 7 points behind. They are 7 points behind Arsenal.
Yes.
Pep Guardiola coming into this game, how can he now secure total points? Of course.
Yes.
Goal difference, factor in all this to try and catch up to Arsenal.
Yeah, it kind of goes to the at times that people criticize. Some critics for Pep saying that at times he overthinks, especially in some big games and especially in some critical matches. I think the only way they can get into closing that particular gap is just winning and winning more games.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to check on I know there have been a little bit. There's some games they're really drawn and they really had to win in Premier League. I think there was a shock in one of the past games where they actually drew 2-2. I'm trying to remember which game that one was.
Yeah.
But I think it's in those particular games actually you drop points. Those are really critical points. So I think going into the next games, they just have to win. And also, I know Pep kind of starts some of the, maybe at times Mamouche starts.
Yes.
Someone else starts.
He rotates his squad.
Yeah, he rotates his squad. I think it's okay to build more confidence at trying to figure out. It kind of feels at times he's trying to figure out his starting 11.
Right.
But I think he needs to kind of just use some of the key players consistently, and then kind of going into the next particular games. If they can get early goals within the first few minutes of the games, then most of the games, I think lately they've been trying to struggle in the second half.
Yes.
So if they try to get more goals scored in the first half, I think they'll have a better chance of winning, and they can just feel more comfortable into the game. Yes, rather than trying to catch up and trying to win from like if they're 2-0, 2 goals down or 1 goes down.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, like any other manager or like any other football fan out there, or Manchester City fan in this particular time, you will imagine that Chelsea and Arsenal who are playing tomorrow, one of them to drop points, right?
Yes.
Just to try and close that gap.
Yes.
To try and as far as getting to the desired goal that is winning the Premier League is concerned.
Yes.
And that is Super Sunday tomorrow. Chelsea, Arsenal. Talking about that in a few. Another key interesting match being played this afternoon. Everton, Newcastle. Everton last time out, miraculously,
They were,
right?
against that.
And that is now what we usually say that in football anything can happen.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You are 10 man playing against Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yes.
Your 10 man red card came in early the 13th minute.
I remember.
Against your own players fighting, right? Meaning there's no harmony in that squad,
Yes.
or perhaps that's one side to look at it, or players are demanding more of each other.
Yes.
That is also a positive thing that both matches has pointed out. But Everton 10 man against Manchester United, winning 1-0, and one would imagine tonight, this afternoon, playing against Newcastle, they will want to capitalize on that win because that
Yes.
gave them belief in all sorts of manner.
Yes,
You can
yes.
imagine, right?
Yeah.
And they're facing a side that is Newcastle. Of course, they're a bit shaky. Coming up to they had a 2-1 defeat in the Champions League against Marseille. And also a 2-1 defeat against of course, they won a 2-1 against Manchester City last time out.
Yes.
But it is a side that is not consistent. That is in Newcastle.
Yes.
Everton against Newcastle. Are we going to see the Everton New Stadium at home winning against Newcastle? Ametenda vipi?
I think this one, this is a tough one because I was just checking on the table. Everton is, I think, a few places above Newcastle.
Yes.
But they have a difference of about 3 points. And also, considering their consistency, they're not really been really consistent from both of their ends. So I feel this game can go either way.
Either way. I agree.
Because they both have something to prove.
Yes.
Newcastle coming from a game that I think they played against on
Marseille against
Marseille. Yeah, they lost. I think
they lost 2-1. Yes.
But I think they can. They always have this potential or a spark from a few individual brilliance.
Yes.
I think that can still be shown up there. Everton, I also think like they can go to show that within the game.
Yes.
So this game will be more of like, let's try and get our foot forward and let's forget what actually happened in the last game. But I think for Everton, going into
they'll be confident.
They won against us.
They'll be confident.
Yeah. So I think that could give them some confidence. So this is a game as a neutral fan, I'll be interested to really watch.
Exactly. As a neutral fan, this is a very interesting one because in the level you sit down and just if it goes either way, well and good.
Yes.
Perhaps the only team that could benefit from Everton losing will be Liverpool. Interestingly, Everton is above Liverpool as far as the table is concerned. They're sharing points, yes. But above Liverpool, but these are two sides when you hear about the Merseyside derby.
Yes.
Two teams that really hate each other.
Yes.
Right? For the sake of football, that is. But then again, moja kishuka, mwingine anafurahia.
Yes.
That is football. But for Newcastle, one thing that I've really enjoyed for them this season, the new striker, Volterman, right?
I think
he has come in. They lost Isak. They didn't really want to let him go.
Yes.
But of course, prayer, it's very personal. Yes, it goes there, and that is football.
Yes.
Isak left. Questions were lingered. Were lingering how they're going to perform without a proper striker to try and get results for them. But then again, you see now Voltermed coming in, and they look like they have attacking threat because they won 2-1 against Manchester City.
Yes.
And yes, we're talking about as neutrals. We are going to have this is one to watch.
Yes.
In terms of predictions, do you see this coming as a draw? I'm Newcastle with these billions of quality, billions of qualities, chembe. Could it give them an upper hand?
If I had to predict this game, I think I'll still say that. Okay, Newcastle, Everton, I'll say it will end.
Saka plays one in.
Like, if I had to predict a score, I would think that Newcastle will likely win this. And it's actually something you already mentioned on their striker. They had to get a striker against amidst all the transfer saga was going on. With Isak having to leave, he's not showing up on the training grounds. So, but they found a striker, and I think he's really tried to play with that. There is always some kind of pressure around that. Like, are you going to match up with the last striker? And I think he has been able to really demonstrate that he's part of the team.
All right.
Yeah.
As we wind up on the Premier League, Super Sunday tomorrow. I know we've talked a lot. We've said a lot as far as the composition of Arsenal. They are the top team, formidable team. And just like the singer says, I think it's Rihanna, you hate to love. Personally, on the football side, I hate to love how Arsenal are playing.
And I understand.
Yeah, because, you see, they're not conceding goals.
Yes.
they are scoring from set pieces, something that you cannot. These guys are scoring corners like penalties.
Yeah,
Every
time there's a corner, you see their coach.
Right.
Yeah.
The set piece coach coming up or
they
forward.
just focus on him, and you're like,
exactly. And you see this. That's a goal.
Yes.
Right now, two teams that did really well as far as the Champions League is concerned. Arsenal 3-1 against Bayern Munich. Chelsea 3-0 against Barcelona. Well, it will be a position 1 against position 2 as far as the Premier League is concerned as well. Just giving an overall perspective on this and try a prediction as well.
Yes.
Because these are two teams that the managers, they know they're flying high, but they will not want to lose that glory.
Yes.
And Chelsea fans are apparently now saying, no Cole Palmer, no problem. As far as the staff is concerned. Well, speak to it, please.
Yeah, I think these are really... I think this week, we are actually seeing like really great matches. And also Champions League gave us all this cream of all these good games.
Right.
So Super Sunday as it is. So I just putting up straight up my prediction. I still think Arsenal will win this.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I don't know by how many. If they actually win this and they don't concede, I'll not be surprised.
Okay.
Yes. But I think they possibly 2-0 up. I also feel like Chelsea are still a threat. They kind of really move forward fast.
Yeah.
And if they decide to keep a defensive shape, they can really do it really nice. We saw that against PSG, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like they were able to contain some big teams.
Right.
So I just feel like they can still do that, but I also feel like Arsenal, with the individual brilliance and the collective team brilliance they've been able to show, they're more compact.
Right.
People just know their roles. They know when to make a run. They know when to play the ball around and keep out possession. They've been able to do that really nicely. And again, let's forget the set pieces. So, and everyone, if I look at everyone on the Arsenal squad, I can't say there's someone who's not giving their all.
Yeah.
So everyone really looks strong in their position and they really know their roles. So I think this will be a game that it could be fast-paced. In the way I'm kind of looking at it,
Right.
It could be fast-paced because I know when Chelsea really try and take advantage, especially if people losing the possession in the side of the half.
Yeah.
So I know there'll be those kind. So it will be an enticing game to look at.
Right.
But I think Arsenal will likely win this one.
It's very tough. It's T for tough.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, T for tough.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Arsenal, very formidable side. When you look at Chelsea, 3-0 against Wolves at home, 2-0 against Burnley away, 3-0 against Barcelona at home,
Yes.
and now against Arsenal at home.
So they haven't conceded.
In the past 3 games, they haven't conceded any goal.
Okay.
And
So
they have 2 or more goals to score. So 2-0. With Tashwishi, I mean, it's very much allowed because this is football, can go either way.
Yes.
Arsenal away, we saw them really struggle against Sunderland,
Yes.
where they had to come back and draw 2-2.
But just a question.
Yes.
Chelsea wins this. That could change the way we're looking at the current standings.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they will not go on top, but they will reduce the
But
margin.
it also shows these guys have won this number of games and
Right.
also coming from the Champions League. That could mean let's put them up there with Arsenal. I know we have some top teams in the top 4.
Yeah.
But if we look at those teams, Chelsea winning this could really mean we're not only looking at one team could really be strong, and then let's maybe consider the second leg of the season. But maybe we could be talking about a two clubs going for the Premiership. Could be a little bit early, but
Right.
Chelsea winning this could kind of change some perspectives around that. So let's see how that really goes.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, it is the Super Sunday coming up this weekend. Chelsea at home, they will be welcoming Arsenal. They are saying, no Cole Palmer, no problem. The other side, no Gyökeres, no problem. They'll still score. There's only one way to find out after 90 minutes.
Yes.
Come tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. It will be Chelsea against Arsenal, number 1 versus number 2. And it will be interesting to see how this pans out. But then again, thank you so much for staying with us. But before I leave you, I just want to give you some quick highlights as far as the Deaflympics is concerned. Remember, we had a contingent of Team Kenya representing the country as far as the Deaflympics is concerned. That kicked off from the 15th November to the 26th. And Team Kenya did really well. They managed to get 15 medals in general, I beg your pardon. 5 gold, 6 silver, 4 bronze, with 2 global records being set. Ian Wambui managed to settle settle the world record as far as the 5,000 meters race is concerned. And also in that particular race, he set the Deaflympics record in that particular race, winning in the 5,000 meters race. And it was 2 global records courtesy of Ian Wambui, once again putting Kenya on the map, on the spotlight as far as global competitions is concerned. This time out, a lot of questions were being raised as far as preparations was concerned, because it registered a slight drop as compared to the 2021 24th Summer Deaflympics that did happen in Caxias, Brazil, where Kenya racked up 24 medals, a total of 5 gold, 7 silver, and 12 bronze. Now, why this slight of decline as far as performance is concerned? Of course, a lot of questions are being raised as far as the government support, as far as preparations of players, but we are going to hear all this from the team that represented us. We have the highlights for you. But then again, let me just, before we take a look at that, let me just read out some of the medals that did as it happened. We had Lucas Wanjiru, who settled for gold in the 3,000 meters race, men's steeplechase. And also we had Elikana Rono, who settled for gold in the 8,000 meters race as far as the men's is concerned. And James Mwanza in the 1,500 meters race also, who settled for gold. Of course, I've just read how Ian Wambui did well in the 5,000 meters race, but then again, also in the 10,000 meters race, he bagged gold for Team Kenya. As far as the silver department is concerned, we have David Kiptum in the 10,000 meters race, where he, in the men's marathon race, he got the silver medal for Team Kenya. Also, we have James Musembi in the 1,500 meters race, men's race. He settled for silver. Elikana Rono, once again, after gold, also did well in the men's 1,500 meters race, settled in for silver medal. And also we had Jacob Kibet, who settled for silver medal in the men's 3,000 meters race. In the 4x100 mixed relays, Team Kenya also did really well and settled for silver medal. As far as the bronze department is concerned, Team Kenya had 4 athletes bagging the bronze medal. Sharon Bitok in the 1,500 meters women's race, and also we had Sarah Wangari in the 10,000 meters marathon for women, and also we had Nelson Rotich, 5,000 meters men race, winning a bronze medal, and finally Viola Jelimo settling at the 5,000 meters race for women with a bronze medal. Once again, congratulations for Team Kenya. 15 medals, si rahisi. Ama namna gani, Brian?
Yeah,
it is not easy.
Not easy.
They
make it look easy, yeah?
They make it look easy, bana. And of course, this afternoon we did not have Elvis on the scene, but he has been here before, talking about how the government should be really coming in and supporting para athletes, not only the Deaflympics,